Alright guys, welcome back to One MEFC, your independent MEFC fan channel, or you can call it as Edinson Cavani's fan channel. Isn't it guys? I mean,
Sure.
I
Oh
mean
God.
the number 7 curse which was there for about 12 years, 12 long years. Every now and
Yeah.
then players came in, wear that prestigious number 7 jersey, failed on a regular basis, and then came a 34-year-old player as a free agent. And I still remember athletics, poll. They actually regarded Thiago Alcantara as the best signing of the Premier League, you know, of this season, and Edinson Cavani as the worst signing of the Premier League. And look at Edinson Cavani right now. In the last 7 games, the guy has scored 8 goals. 8 goals in last 7 games in the Premier League. That is too much. That is literally too much. And talking about his mentality, for the first 65 minutes, United was struggling, and not in terms of creating chances, but in terms of taking those chances inside the final third. And we were really missing a proper number 9, and we all know how good Edinson Cavani is with his off the ball movement and with his precision
Yeah.
while hitting the ball. And that is something Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, all our youngsters don't have in their game. And as soon as Edinson Cavani was there on the pitch, United started, creating more chances in the final third. You know, Players like Rashford were getting more space because Edinson Cavani has this ability of pulling, defenders towards him. Because we all know how good he is. He can convert those half chances into goals. So, Tanmay, you know, we all know that Edinson Cavani is a great player. A great goal scorer and a great team player. But how big of an impact Edinson Cavani has made on Mason Greenwood? Because we all know Mason Greenwood was struggling at the start of the season. Mason Greenwood was struggling because of all of the field, antics that were happening all around in the media, and he lost his close friend as well, and that was really taking on his game. But Edinson Cavani took him under his wings, guided him properly. We all know that assist Mason Greenwood gave it to Edinson Cavani. Just few seconds earlier, Cavani was the one who told him just release the ball on first time, and Mason Greenwood did the same thing. And we all know, it ended in the back of the net. So, how good of an impact Edinson Cavani has made on Mason Greenwood's season?
Yeah, man. It's phenomenal, right? And we just say he took him under his wing. It seems like he has literally taken him under his wing. People have their rumors that he is literally taken on Greenwood as his maybe a disciple kind of a thing. So that's literally, I mean, working out well and also visible to the eye, right? Sometimes things don't meet the eye, but it's quite visible. The change in dynamics of a Mason Greenwood play are becoming different now, and it's not a coincidence that it's happening when Cavani is here. So obviously a beautiful impact. Nobody would have imagined. If he had performed half as well when we expected him as a free signing, I would have been very happy.
Imagine him
This
playing
this
all
is
the
just,
games. Imagine him playing all the
yeah,
games, from the start of the season.
yeah. It's just a shame, right? That he's. I mean, he came to us at 34, almost 33, 34. Just what would I give to have a 28-year, 29-year-old
Fucking
Edinson
hell,
Cavani, right?
man.
So it's just one of those, literally. So it's just one of those that it's a shame that he didn't come earlier, but something better than nothing, right?
But
So
but
a
Tanmay,
couple of
it's
years,
it was better for him that he didn't came earlier,
yeah,
because the football that we were playing during Jose Mourinho's tenure was absolutely pathetic. At
yeah,
least now we are watching a free flowing football. When
yeah,
Villa scored, yes, the first 20 minutes, United were in total
mm,
control of the game. Absolutely
yeah,
were in total control. Though we were,
okay,
not finishing our chances, but we were taking the ball forward. We were, creating
yeah,
some spaces for ourselves. And Luke Shaw, I have to give the credit to Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has been our best player, literally the best player, in
yeah,
that back line alongside Harry Maguire. These two have been
yeah,
immense. And tonight as well, Luke Shaw was absolutely phenomenal. The way he was carrying the
yeah,
ball, that 1-2 that he was, doing with Paul Pogba
oh,
was absolutely phenomenal to watch. And
yeah, yeah, yeah,
and Tanmay, as we were discussing about Edinson Cavani, let's talk a bit about Marcus Rashford as well, because it was clearly
yeah,
visible that he was struggling. He was literally struggling, in the first half as well and in the second half as well, until Cavani arrived. And I
yeah.
think, whenever Cavani is there on the field, Rashford, gets a bit of motivation by watching him on the field. I feel like it. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on this?
See, the thing is, every team needs a focal point, right? And something when there's no particular striker, there's no particular number nine, there are two players just wide forwards playing as nine. It generally affects the team as a whole. Cavani has that whole persona as well, but I think it's more about the focal point. Rashford knows that he's a wide player. He knows he can dribble past three people and put it in the top corner. So that's one thing he does, or else he is a bag of tricks and he tries to set up someone else sometimes.
Absolutely.
So I think it's just the lack of focal point. And Cavani, Rashford, Greenwood as a whole seems like our best front three right now. So yeah, Cavani brings a lot to the table. He's basically a focal point that we never had. And as much as Anthony Martial had a good season, he still doesn't fulfill me. So
Yeah,
it just levels up everyone's game. A good player basically levels many people's games, right? So that's something that a Cavani adds to the team, and you can see the instant impact. Bang, 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 3 goals basically. So it's just a big focal point of a team.
absolutely. And you can compare this situation with the Romelu Lukaku situation. When Romelu Lukaku was
Yeah,
here, we were not, in a situation where we used to supply the crosses into the final third. Now we are doing it, and people criticize Romelu Lukaku for not taking his chances. But he is a physical player. He likes to take on defenders, and if you are not giving him the opportunity to do so, then you cannot blame the forward. And now, and Anthony Martial succeeded in that time, because Anthony Martial game is a tiki taka kind of a game. He's a mix of
yeah,
a Spanish and a French player, so he brings something
yeah,
different to the team than what Cavani offers to us. But when I talk about a proper number nine, then I have to take Edinson Cavani into the team,
yeah,
because if you're starting Marcus Rashford, Greenwood at the wing, then you need to have a target man in the center. You cannot have the player, the kind of player that Anthony Martial is. You need to have a
yeah,
target man, and we also in today's game as well, that the chance that Edinson Cavani took and converted, Anthony Martial would have never made it into the final third in that position. Seriously, he wouldn't have, because
yeah,
there is that instinct the player has in his mind, that I can convert this chance, I can make a half chance into a goal, and that's what
yeah,
Cavani offers to the team. So Ishan, you know 6,247 minutes for Harry Maguire, and the captain, the leader, the fan base has turned, in the past turned against him and called him a fridge and this and that, but eventually he is that one player you can always count on. He is that one player apart from Bruno, that that has led this team from the front, that has guided this team, and has took the responsibility of taking the blame on his shoulders, because every now and then Manchester United concedes, it's all because of Harry Maguire. We have uh, what because we paid 85 or 90 million for Harry Maguire. So ultimately it's another Pogba like situation, but now he's injured. He won't feature against Leicester for sure, might miss the game against Liverpool as well. So what are your thoughts on this situation? Do you feel that now the fan base will realize Harry Maguire's importance?
I'm absolutely devastated, to be honest. Like, people make fun of him all the time. People criticize him all the time. They have called him 80 million flop, most expensive fridge and all things. But look at his numbers, man, and the amount, the performances he has put in since that Leipzig game. After that Leipzig game, he hasn't had a shocker or even an average game. He has been producing 7 out of 10 performances week in, week out. Individual we can rely on, and man, even his stats, he is first in duels won, aerial duels won, interceptions, and all those things. Like, he has been one of the best defenders this season, and people aren't acknowledging that. And I think his absence will make fans realize how important he is to our team, and our defense is built around him. Like, I love Lindelof. He is one of my favorite players. I think he's underrated, but uh, the the but he isn't Harry Maguire. The Harry Maguire is just something else, and he's a leader. He organizes the defense, and we won't miss him just as a player. We will miss him as a leader as well. So you have to consider that, and yeah, I think we have to preserve him for the final. Hopefully that injury isn't severe. Yeah, the league is almost done. City will win the league, and top two looks like very much secure. So hopefully we can rest him this week, and let's get him prepared for the final. And after all he has been through in the summer, that Greece incident and terrible start to the season, it will be nice to see him lifting the Europa League at the end of the season.
Absolutely, on that podium, lifting the Europa League as the captain of Manchester United, and as the costliest defender in the Premier League. So that would be a great achievement, not just for Harry Maguire but also for Solskjaer as well, because he was the one who actually asked the United board to sign Harry Maguire. So coming to you, Aditya, great victory, but an average performance. To be very honest, the performance wasn't like we dominated the game, and there were moments when United looked in total control, but this has been our habit, not converting our chances, not continuing with the pace and with the intent that we started the game. It has always been like this season. The story has been I'm talking about this season itself, that United have started the game pretty well, but then they faded away. But in the second half, we all know we are second half FC, and we like to convert our chances only in the second half. Doesn't matter how easy chances we are getting in the first half. So, what are your thoughts on our first half performance in today's game against Aston Villa?
To be fair, I think the first half performance was decent for me. I think the first few interchanges, Pogba and Shaw combining, we had few early shots. We worked Emi Martinez well in first few halves. The the problem as the problem came when we don't have a focal point. Like our team plays on their own interpretation. So, for example, we have Rashford who moves into the box. If he doesn't see anyone, he'll shoot. So you need a focal point around that. In this first half, we lacked a focal point. You can see the difference. When Cavani comes in, the passing lanes opens up. Everyone likes to pass. So that's what I feel we lacked. We weren't clinical enough, and I think we moved the ball well. But suddenly when Villa scored, like I always said, whenever we concede the first 10 to 15 minutes, we are panicked as hell. The team is panicked. We misplaced passes. We try to force the issue, like going stupidly long and some like Bruno. Everyone tries things, but and Villa also pressed us well. But I think we were decent in first half. And yeah, regarding our season, it is a problem. Our first half is a problem. I don't know. I read somewhere that
Imagine if we go down. Imagine if we go down in the final. In the first half.
Oh God, I can't take that. I won't be able to take that.
But literally, Solskjaer has to do something about this, because this should not become a habit of ours. Because if you want to, yes, we have won 31 points from losing position. That tells a lot about the mentality. That tells a lot about the desire to win. But if you look at City, they never gave their opponent any chance of scoring. Since that Leicester game where they conceded 5, I can't even remember in any game where in which their defense has leaked goals or they've made silly mistakes. And this has to change, because if you want to fight toe to toe with your rivals for the title, and for each and every trophy, not just for the Premier League but each and every trophy, because this happened with us against Leicester in the FA Cup as well, and we all know how it ended for us.
Yeah, because
And this is a very bad thing to make it as a habit, because if you want to compete, if you want to win, if you want to come out as a winner, then you need to stop doing this. It's good to make a comeback every time. Yes, Tanmay.
See, I have a counter argument to that. I mean, yeah, it feels like a habit, but I think there is a pattern emerging here, and I'm not saying it's a pattern that needs to be kept permanently. Sure, we need to start well, but I think it's just season based. The season started abruptly. The last season ended abruptly. There were breaks in between. We had no preseason. So I think most teams are struggling to cope up with the fitness levels and injuries here. And I think we have had, if you observe closely, we have not had a major injury, right?
No, in terms of
If it
fitness,
is,
United
it's
has
just
improved a lot.
one or two. Yeah. So there's like a pattern emerging. I think it's something that's been discussed, that we don't need to go gung ho, and yeah, maybe we build slowly. Yeah, maybe there's that risk that we start slowly, but I think conceding goals is not something that we have planned.
But
that just maybe happens.
I agree, Dharmesh.
But I think
But it's happening frequently. That's the
Yeah,
point.
that is the only
yeah,
problem.
but that's why I'm saying that it's becoming a pattern, right? So it's becoming a pattern just so to adapt to a certain level or certain type of season, right? There's a reason why we have ran so much. There's a reason why our players are outrun our opponents every time in the next half, whether it is City or whether it's small team. So I don't think so. It's becoming a bad habit. I think it's
But
season
imagine if we
specific,
go
and I
down.
don't think
But
so.
as I said, quite a few minutes earlier, imagine if we go down in the finals, and and
Yeah.
Villarreal is a very good
I'm not
defensive team, and
Yeah. I'm not saying it's a thing that we need to stick to. I think it's something that's, I think, league specific, that we try, just so that there's the, I mean, USP of ours, that we outrun our opponent in the second half, right? So I think this season has been very weird, and I think this is something season specific, and I don't think so we are sticking to it long term. Sure, we'll start better next season, but I think we have particularly seen
for
this
that
in
we
the
need to
league,
sign
right? We can
Sancho.
see it again.
For that we need to sign Sancho.
Yeah, maybe. But I don't think so. It's a. I mean, I don't think so. We want to do this, but I think this is some kind of a coping mechanism to
I mean, I don't
sustain
have a
longer
problem,
in this.
I mean, I don't have a problem until and unless we are winning games. I don't give a single fuck whether we go down or not. It doesn't bother me at all. But the only problem here is that this is actually becoming a habit of ours, and this should not happen, because in terms of winning the knockout games, you need to be very focused throughout the 90 minutes. And we all know, as soon as Leicester scored in the FA Cup, we panicked and we were all over the place. And this should not happen in the UEFA Cup, finals, because this is our only chance to secure a trophy.
Yeah.
And we know we are so desperate, but those players and that manager is much more desperate than us, because there is something to prove. Solskjaer is trying to, make a statement here that now is the time you guys need to take me seriously. I am not a PE teacher. I am not here to entertain you guys. I am not a manager who is, managing his team on the basis of vibes. I'm not. I am doing this and I will do this, and I'm taking this team further, and on the right track. So Ishan, let's talk about Paul Pogba. First time he went in that final third. First time he took on a player. Douglas Luiz once again gave the penalty to Manchester United. Thanks to him, Bruno scored. He was my triple captain in FPL. So all thanks to Douglas
Oh, God.
Douglas Luiz and Paul Pogba. This is what he's supposed to do, and this is what he is doing at the moment. He is creating chances. He is taking on players, and he is attracting players towards him. That gives extra space for the players like Luke Shaw, Bruno Fernandes to make their game. So how big of a performance, Paul Pogba delivered tonight, and do you really feel that United must, and has to offer Paul Pogba a new deal in terms of securing any title next season and closing the gap on Man City or say Liverpool and Chelsea?
Okay, so first of all, talking about his performance, I completely agree with you. Like, when you are playing with Pogba, as you can say, wide number 8, he has a tendency to come centrally, and he and the right back who is marking him tends to come centrally, which creates space for the left back to get into that position and to cross into the box. You know what I mean? So it's not just a coincidence that Pogba and Luke Shaw have been playing together as a duo extremely well on that left hand side, and Luke Shaw is getting ample amount of space on that left flank, and we all know he is such a good crosser. So the synergy between those two is extremely good, and when he is playing at that left wing kind of a position, there is no defensive duties on him, and that brings out the best out of Paul Pogba. And as long as we don't have a proper number 6, I don't think Pogba in the double pivot works, or we can't play 4-3-3 as long as we don't have a proper number 6. So yeah, it's working fine right now. And about the new deal, like I mentioned it 1 month ago, that I would like to cash in on Pogba. And considering his agent, I still stand by it. But getting replacement is extremely important. If you are not gonna sign a world class replacement, then you may as well keep him. Like it all
Absolutely.
comes down to replacement. Suppose if you have got like 100 to 120 million spent on a player, then I don't think it makes much sense to let Pogba go, because we have other positions to prioritize. And to compete with the likes of City and Liverpool, we have to make additions, not replacements. So if you aren't ready to sign a world class replacement, then you can't let go Pogba. You can't just let Pogba go. This is what I feel.
Absolutely. Very, very good point you made here, that if you want to close the gap on Man City, you need to add quality to the team instead of, cutting off the quality
Replacing
from
them.
your squad,
Yeah.
and, departing players from the squad. So, Aditya, if you look at Man City's squad, they have two players on each and every position.
Yeah.
Even if they rest their first team players, their second team is so good that they can even compete for the title. And this is a clear fact.
Yeah.
I mean, if I have to, pick the runner up and the champions, then I have to pick Man City first 11, and then Man City second team as the number 2 team, and then you can
Yeah.
call
Yeah.
Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and so on. So this is the
Mhm.
kind of difference, the bench strength brings to the squad. And this is the kind of
Yeah.
thing that separates a champion team from a contender. Because if you look
Yeah.
at Manchester United right now Maguire is injured. Will have to accommodate Bai or say Axel Tuanzebe in his position. And both of them, I love Axel Tuanzebe, but he hasn't got that match fitness and he hasn't got that minutes under his belt to
Yeah. Yeah.
come straight into the first team and to play against a side like Leicester, who is so physical, who press like anything. And we all know how good
Yeah.
Vardy is up front, and we all know how it ended for
Mhm.
us when we faced Leicester in the Premier League earlier in the season. He
Yes.
got
Yes.
one shot and he converted that shot. So you cannot give him space, you cannot give him, you know the time to take a shot. And the kind of form Iheanacho is in right now, he is delivering.
Oh God.
He's much more, what I can say, lethal than what Jamie Vardy is at the moment. So how confident are you going, you know with Eric Bailly or say Axel Tuanzebe alongside Lindelof? Because Lindelof is so slow. We in today's game
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well saw how Wesley took on him and just bullied him physically. And it was
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
one moment I thought, now we are going to concede the second goal, and it was quite visible. The way Wesley bullied him and throw. I mean, he actually throw him out of the box. So Lindelof alongside Bai is a very risky task. To be very honest, I mean, this is
Yeah.
what I feel. I don't know about you. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel the same, man. Because that's where Maguire's leadership comes in. He organizes the back line so well, and and now Leicester have both Iheanacho and Vardy up front playing. One Vardy is a clever poacher who I don't think Eric Bai has the intelligence to track well. And about nah, man, I'm not so confident about these two. God, not so confident about these two.
Yeah, absolutely. Tanmay, I mean, you look at Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy is actually working as a second fiddle in Leicester team at the moment, because at the moment Iheanacho is the central figure. They lost against what was the team? They lost against 4-2.
Newcastle.
Newcastle. Yeah.
Newcastle.
In the game against Newcastle, Vardy wasn't getting the supply, but Iheanacho was. Every time, their fullbacks were going up front, they were trying to deliver the ball to Iheanacho, because he is in the form of his life right now and he's thriving on confidence. And if you put Eric Bailly there, you are putting in a player who is error prone, who is injury prone, and who is old school. He doesn't care about the scoreline. He doesn't care about the occasion. He just goes the way he wants to go. And I'm not really confident, going with a pair of Lindelof and Eric Bailly, to be very honest, because had Lindelof got injured in today's game, I would have happily kept Eric Bailly alongside Maguire, because Maguire brings that stability to the team. I know that Maguire has a tendency, of losing some balls in areas where they can create a counter. But then again, he is a leader. He'll bring he'll win back those balls and do anything. So let's talk about our lineup against Leicester, because for sure Bruno might get rested. Rashford has to get the rest. If we want to win against Liverpool, then Rashford must get some rest. So what is going to be your playing 11 against Leicester?
I think if when we got the 3 games in 5 days kind of a scenario, I think this is the game Solskjaer decided that no man, I have enough time for Villa from the Europa League game. I have enough time from Villa till the Liverpool game. But this is an obstacle that kind of it doesn't really affect us. That Newcastle loss by Leicester was kind of maybe a blessing for us to throw this game away. I would say pro, because we won't be actively losing the game. But if there was one game that they decide to not focus as much, I think it must be this one. So
Title is gone anyway.
I think, and there's a considerable gap between us and Leicester. And even if we basically lose and Leicester win, it solidifies their top 4 and plus prevents Liverpool from entering. So
Absolutely.
I'm all for it. So I'm all for it that way, and I think it will be a rotated thing. But I don't think so. He'll rotate suddenly all 11 players all of a sudden.
Absolutely.
I would also like to say that don't be super shocked if Maguire makes a sudden return to Leicester, because
I won't be.
That
I just won't be.
he's that kind of a player. Yeah, he's that kind of a player. Plus, Solskjaer over exaggerates. Injuries so much. So
Still remember that game against Man City. Just before that Man City game, a couple of days back, he got a knock, and the news were all over the place that Maguire won't be playing against Man City, this and that. Last year it was, and all of a sudden I am watching Maguire in the lineup, and wearing the armband and everything. I was like, what the fuck is going around here? The news was there that he might not play, and he has got a serious knock. And Henry Winter later actually told in his press conference, in his interview to Full Time Devils, that the guy actually played 2 months by taking medicines, and that tells a lot about the character of Harry Maguire. And fans must respect this thing, because he is your captain. He is wearing that badge. He is carrying your team, and this is the right time to accept the fact that Harry Maguire is our best defender and is one of our best player. This is high time, because the guy has played each and every game since he has arrived. Almost each and every game. I hardly remember him getting any rest. The only game he got rest. I think Eric Bailly got injured, and then he had to make a second half. I think Axel Tuanzebe got injured. Got injured.
I think it was PSG game, na?
No, it was a cup game. It was an EFL Cup game.
What you are talking about Watford where McTominay.
And he has to make a second half, appearance. So Tanmay, we already discussed about that Solskjaer won't be making so many chances, for the game against Leicester. But what all changes you are expecting from him that he would make?
It won't be 11 surely, but there will be certain ones. I think we'll see a more similar lineup to the Europa League second leg against Roma. So I think Henderson continues. Telles comes in for sure because he needs that rest. Maguire being out, Bailly is the obvious replacement. I don't think so he gets Tuanzebe. I think he'll withdraw Lindelof earlier to get Axel some game time maybe. So maybe that. And Wan-Bissaka stays because Brandon Williams is too risky. Midfield, I think Matic plays instead of McTominay. Fred continues. Bruno will start. Bruno will come off early, but Bruno will start as he usually does. I think Cavani will start on the bench again. So I think Greenwood starts, and then.
So in short, my FPL is fucked.
I'm sorry, man, but I think so. So I think there will be rotation, but it will be sustainable rotation. It won't be something mad like he said it would. It was he made a mark, but I don't think so he'll stick with it. It will be a good lineup, but there will be changes.
I
Ishan,
think Cavani starts, he started this game on the bench.
yeah,
45 minutes.
but what I feel is, I think Cavani might not start. I think Solskjaer will use him against
One of the
Liverpool.
two.
You know, this could be that one game, that Cavani, that Solskjaer can actually, manage to convince Cavani that, I'm giving you a start against Liverpool, our fierce rival. And, if he secures a goal against Liverpool, then that could be the very moment that Cavani might decide to stay at Old Trafford for one more season. So coming to you, Ishan, Tanmay has already told about the lineup. I'm going to talk about the front three. Who is going to be that front three for you, or say front two against Leicester? Because we might start with a diamond. We can, and there is no problem in starting the diamond until and unless we are not sacrificing, our defensive shape. Because every time we have played with a diamond, it has happened with us that we have sacrificed our creativity, we have sacrificed our defensive shape, and the ability to defend low block teams. So I just don't want that to happen, because Leicester will definitely for sure will play on the counter, and we all know how deadly they are on the counter. So what is going to be that front two or front three for you?
It's a difficult question, If I were in Ole's shoes,
What,
I
you
would
were
be
expecting a
extremely
kindergarten
worried.
kind of question, or what?
What?
Or you were expecting a kindergarten kind of a question, or what?
So, first of all, Dan James is out. If had he been fit, it would have made the choice easier. But I think we will go with Diamond, and Greenwood surely starts, considering he was brought off early tonight. And I think that Cavani will
Did
also
you say
start.
Ahmad?
Maybe
Yes.
Did you say Ahmad?
Cavani. No.
Did you say Ahmad?
Don't get
If someone say
Can't
Van de
hear
Beek,
you. Can't hear you.
if someone say Van de Beek,
but Ishan, this could be that one game, that Ahmad or Elanga could get a chance, say 15 or 20 minutes.
Yeah, but do you really think? I don't think so. I think it will be in the final game against Wolves or probably Fulham. I think we will bench our big players for the game against Leicester, and those players will come on at some point, probably after 60 minutes. And I don't think this is a game for youngsters. I think Cavani and Mason will start, and at the same time, I
master
feel like
and the
Cavani will be
apprentice.
brought off after 60 minutes.
All right. So Cavani and Greenwood will be the front two for you. But Aditya,
Yeah.
Leicester game is that one game, we can, as Tanmay said, we can lose
We
and
can
we
shout
might
it
not
aside.
feel sad, because that will, actually reduce the possibility of Liverpool securing the top four. And last season, when we were 33 points behind Liverpool fans were all over social media. Are you watching
My
Man
God.
United? Are you watching Man United? We have lifted the trophy. We are 33 points ahead of you. This and that. And if let's say, we defeat Leicester, and then we defeat Liverpool as well, that would mean we'll be at present we are 13 points ahead of them, and two victories will
Yeah, more than
confirm.
that.
Yeah, we are 13 points ahead of them. They are at 57 points if I'm not wrong, and we have secured 70. So that
Yes.
means we are 13 points ahead of them.
Then we can go 16 clear. Then we can move 16 clear.
We can actually go 19 clear of
Eh,
them, because they'll for sure bottle it in the
Right,
next
depends
coming
on
games
the
as well.
rules.
They'll for sure bottle it.
he's saying they lose.
Yeah,
If they lose, right,
yeah,
then
they are going to lose. What's that? No. It's not going to happen. They are not going to win
if it's
against
in
us.
Anfield, if it's in Anfield, then we can say they can lose.
It's at Old Trafford. We already secured a draw, and we were the better team that day as well. We could have easily defeated them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you count the number of points we have dropped, from the winnable position, it is too much.
Yeah.
We could have, we could have been on 80 points, toe to toe with Man City. Yes, the goal difference
Yeah.
would have been much less with that of Man City, but in terms of points, we could have been right there, and that
Yeah.
would have made this Premier League chase much more enjoyable. Just like the La Liga, the title race which is going around in La Liga is too fun to watch. though I'm not a big La Liga fan, I'm not a La Liga fan, let alone the big La Liga fan. I literally hate Barcelona. I literally hate Real Madrid and each and every club there because they have a tendency of overhyping their players, overhyping their league.
Oh yeah.
That league
We are
can't
seeing
even
this
secure
with
TV
Ansu Fati
rights.
and Pedri.
That league can't even secure
Vinicius.
TV rights.
The Facebook league.
Yeah, the Facebook league. But in terms of this
Funny.
season's title race, it has been quite amazing in La Liga. I mean, the top three sides are
Yeah.
fighting very very closely. It's a very compact league at the moment, and we could have created a same kind of situation if we wouldn't have dropped points against fuck Arsenal. I mean Arsenal, Everton. That 3-3 draw still hurts. That drop
Sheffield.
point against West Brom, Sheffield, then again against Arsenal. The 0-0 draw, and
Palace.
Yeah.
the game against Crystal Palace as well. So these are kind of
Yeah.
games that has really haunted us. And I mean, can we afford to lose against Leicester? Can we?
Look, ideally we shouldn't lose, but we can afford.
Because we can.
Look,
I mean, what kind of question is this? What kind of question is this? A United fan is asking a United fan that
Why-
will it be okay if
should
we
we
drop
lose?
points?
Yeah, I mean,
But-
Leicester are
but I
always
think-
better than Liverpool, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Any day.
Absolutely.
And that would also mean, Tanmay, that would also mean that the top 6 teams will be from now on Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Spurs, and Leicester.
Leicester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Someone
Arsenal and
will-
Emirates thing is gone.
Very generous
It's
of
gone.
you to include Spurs as
But
well.
Arsenal can be proud of one thing, Arsenal are undefeated in the UCL since May 2017. That's a very big achievement. That's a very, very big achievement.
Since they've lost 5-2 to Bayern,
Yeah.
they have not lost.
That's a very big
See,
achievement,
that's what
5
happens.
years. 5 years undefeated.
Yeah. They are
That's how ambitious you should be, sign Pepe, sign Thomas Partey,
Yeah.
convert them into Gervinho and stuff. So that's the future.
Absolutely. But let's not laugh on Arsenal. Yeah, they are already a laughing stock.
Why?
Because they are already a laughing stock. Their own fan channel is a laughing stock. I mean,
No, it's not our place to laugh at Arsenal right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely.
It's Everton's fans' right to laugh at them. They are competing with
Absolutely.
I'm very
Let's
sympathetic.
take the laughing to
Aston
Everton.
Villa crossed.
I have a bit of
Aston Villa
sympathy,
should have
towards
crossed
them.
Arsenal today.
I have a bit of sympathy towards them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it's like the team is fucking them, but Arsenal fan TV is, fucking them more. So it's that kind of a scenario. Sorry?
No, they must be happy, they are 11th now, so leading the bottom half of the team.
Still remember that podcast from DT, or is it not DT? It was
Troops, I
someone
think.
else. Someone else it
Yeah,
was.
I think the blood fam guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, must be Troops.
Yeah,
That should be.
Troops was the one who said, "You will be finishing 10th, blood. You will be finishing 10th.
Yep, it was him. It was him.
We have got a real manager here. You have got a PE teacher.
Ordered a masterclass.
He plays, we conduct our game on the basis of tactics and not on vibes and this and that. And this was the same guy who was on, on yesterday's or day before yesterday, he was crying that I hate this manager, I hate this club, I hate fucking everyone.
That is not tactics, right?
Yeah.
There are some
Thomas
tactics, but
Partey and Manchester United have signed from Edinson Cavani, the
Yeah.
worst signing of the summer.
Yeah. And,
He was supposed to be Radamel Falcao, I guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
Imagine
yes.
Radamel Falcao was a flop at United, He was a total flop, and still Stratford End used to sing for him. Imagine Edinson Cavani
Yeah.
walking out, in front of that
My
full
God.
Stratford
My
End,
God.
and
But
I'm getting goosebumps. Like literally, I'm getting goosebumps.
You'd
And
say,
the
man,
whole Old
imagine
Trafford
Edi-
singing,
im-
"Give it to Eddie Cavani." I mean, that would be that one moment, Edinson Cavani will cherish for rest of his life, because to play at Old
absolutely.
Trafford is a very big achievement in itself. But to play in front of a jam-packed Old Trafford crowd and the crowd, that 75,000 singing your name, with full energy and full passion, that would mean a lot to him. And that is the only thing that might, convince him to stay, because he'll be winning trophies at Boca Juniors for sure. That is that one league that is dominated by Boca Juniors, and what is that other
River
team?
Plate.
River Plate.
River Plate.
Yeah, River Plate. So at Boca Juniors, he'll get a very big reception, and we all know, the rivalry between Boca Juniors and River Plate.
Yeah.
But this is Premier League, man. This is something else. The experience that you'll get here, you'll never get anywhere else. So I
Also,
hope.
the thing is, he's already, a big legend of the game, right? As in football in general.
Yeah, absolutely.
He has been a prolific European striker.
A legend
Many
of
people
Napoli,
look up to.
highest goal scorer of Napoli. I mean, if I'm not wrong, not highest goal scorer, as a number
No.
9. As a number 9, he was
PSG
for one season. He won the Golden Boot, if I'm not wrong. And
Yeah.
then he
Even
won to
adored at
PSG.
PSG, a club that has no soul, right?
Yeah.
A club that has no soul like PSG even adored him. He was a proper legend.
And he
legend
broke Zlatan's record there.
You just offended 4 PSG
Yeah.
fans in India.
But at least, let's not talk about PSG. They have already spoiled my mood, from their performance against Man City. They were all over the place, man. I mean, I was counting on Neymar, I was counting on Di Maria, and that snake once again showed his true colors. I mean, what kind of red card that was?
That's your mistake. You counted on Neymar.
I mean, as much as I hate Neymar, but he's that one player who can, turn the game on its head. We all know that famous comeback against PSG. He was that one player. It wasn't Messi. It wasn't, Suarez. It was Iniesta and Neymar who was running the show for them that night.
Yeah.
So I was expecting something like that, but then again, that Ninja Turtle was on the bench, and Di Maria was all over the place. But that one guy who wasn't playing was Mauro Icardi. He was there on the field, but still invisible.
He looked like he just won an internship in the PSG team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
that Make-A-Wish Foundation kind of thing.
yeah, absolutely. But okay, all right. It was a very, very good podcast. After a long time, I have laughed so much, and I won't really blame my players if we'll lose the game against Leicester. I'll be happy, because all I care about now is securing second
Beating
and
Liverpool.
getting the Europa trophy back at Old Trafford. That is the only thing that I care about. I don't give a single shit now, because finishing third or finishing fourth, might not make a big difference, because they've already closed the gap on Man City, in terms of quality. If we can talk about in terms of football, our first team football is very much closer to that of Man City, because this season, if you compare their quality, they haven't created much. Against Chelsea as well, they struggled a lot, and if they are going to play this way against Chelsea, Thomas Tuchel will rip them apart, because there were so many chances that Chelsea missed in front of the goal, and there were many instances where they were offside. So he'll work on that as well, and hopefully Chelsea might win, the UCL, and that would be less painful for us, because you can't afford to, City to win it, because that is that only one trophy that they haven't won in their lifetime. So if they are going to win that, then how we are going to sing that thing that you'll never win that, champions of Europe, you'll never win that. So alright, thank you guys, thank you Tanmay, thank you Aditya, thank you Ishan. It was lovely having you, and hopefully we'll be back soon. And guys, take care. The corona is spreading very, very rapidly, and you guys need to take good care of yourself. And to all the viewers as well who are watching this, please take good care of yourself wherever you are, from whichever part of the world you are watching this. Stay healthy, stay safe, and let's hope that we'll spoil the party for Liverpool, and stop them from securing top 4. Alright guys, goodbye, take care.
Yep.
Cheers.
Bye.